10 Craziest Military Training Exercises. The lives of military officers are distant relatives from the everyday life full of an oasis of tranquility other people are accustomed to. Turning these ordinary men into highly trained officers literally drain them of their physical, mental, and psychological comfort. From facing live bullets to going for days without food and water, becoming servicemen is not a walk in the park. Today in this video, we will show you 10 craziest military training exercises that will make you respect any man or woman in uniform. But before we begin, kindly subscribe to our channel for more of our awesome content. Please give us a like, share the video, and don't forget to turn on the notification bell for timely updates of our new videos. Let's get it on! Number 1. Chinese People Liberation Army. In a country with a population of over 1.3 billion people, making the cut to be among the active 2 million military personnel must be a hard nut to crack. Flanked with an annual budget of over $177 billion, second only to the United States, the kind of training these soldiers go through to familiarize themselves with adversity is so severe. Were it not for the images that appeared on the website of Chinese national radio, no one would actually believe it. The soldiers go through a 17-step obstacle course that includes swimming, climbing, and the most frightening one, leaping over flaming objects. In southwest China, the Chengdu military region has been turned into a brutal training ground to assist the soldiers in fostering strong will, courage, and teamwork. The thorough training the Chinese military are subjected to was manifested when they dominated the international military competition in 2014. Dubbed the Warrior Competition, it was designed to put soldiers from different countries worldwide through the most stringent known military tests. Number 2. India's Para-Special Forces Commandos. Para-Commandos are the most trained in the Indian Army. They gained international recognition during the India-Pakistan War in 1965. The soldiers don a prestigious maroon beret, and earning it is one of the most grueling tasks in the world. The training is so harsh that many of the soldiers eventually get to a breaking point. The dangers associated with being part of this elite group start right at the recruitment stage, where deaths have been reported. General Vinod Bhatia of the Para-Special Forces said to India's newspaper Economic Times, "We feel we're a bunch of misfits that fit well together." During training, the aim is basically breaking the will of the soldier. It's only when we don't succeed that it means the soldier is passed. One of the most challenging trainings, however, has to be the 36-hour stress phase. During this phase, the soldiers are denied sleep for 36 straight hours with no food and water. It's also during this forceful hunger strike that the soldiers are subjected to excessive physical and mental torture. They're instructed to carry 40 liters of water, 20 on the right and another 20 on the left hand. This is followed by loading 187-pound truck tires on their backs, and finally carrying 176 pounds of wood logs. At this time, the 66-pound bag of weapons is tied to your back. In my opinion, this last part should be a subject of interest for the human rights bodies. Can you imagine eating pieces of broken glass as a test against fearlessness? Number 3. Russia's Spetsnaz. A majority describes the Russian military as the meanest among the many military forces in the world. There's a glaring truth tied to this notion, because it would take the sun and the moon to meet for you to spot a smiling Russian soldier. Spetsnaz isn't just one elite unit, but consists of several different ones in both military and police forces. Some of Russia's best trained troops come from Spetsnaz, or Special Purpose Units. The Spetsnaz Special Units was created after World War II. Spetsnaz are said to currently number 15,000. The Russian military is known to undergo inhumane training exercises that leave them ready to execute enemies without traces of sympathy whatsoever. The training is exceptionally lengthy, taking 5 years to complete. The soldiers are made to undergo a series of life-threatening exercises, like shooting at each other with live bullets, leaving their dear lives hanging at the mercy of the shooters. They also soak up in freezing waters for up to 2 hours a day for the first 2 years. Number 4. Royal Marines Mud Run. The Royal Marine recruits undergo a 32-week brutal exercise that turns them into weaponized humans, thanks to the unkind nature of the training methods. The mud run particularly is not for the faint-hearted. It encompasses 5 minutes of running in the thick and diluted mud. The exercise is meant to strengthen both their physical and mental resilience. According to Captain Ben Chappell, who was tasked with overseeing physical training at the Royal Commando Training Center, the mud run also helps the recruits develop team cohesion, which is an essential part of being a Royal Marine. Number 5. British Gurkhas. The British Army recruits hundreds of Nepalese young men every year to join their army, a tradition that has been going on for many years. The lucky few selected always appear ecstatic to leave their poverty-stricken nation and join the respected wing of the British Army, bearing in mind the tough tests awaiting them on the resumption of their training. The craziest exercise for the 400 annual recruits is the 3-mile run on a steadily rising altitude, characterized by extremely rocky and dusty terrain. While running, the soon-to-be soldiers, for those who make it of course, are loaded with 77 pounds of sand and rocks in a basket strapped to their backs. The Gurkhas are pricey assets to the British military wing, with records showing over 46,000 of them have died fighting for the British crown. Number 6. Pakistani SSG Commandos. The Middle East is synonymous with constant wars. From fighting militia to terrorist organizations, it's undoubtedly clear that for one to make it as a military commando, the training has to be as challenging as it can be. The Special Services Group, SSG, is their most elite unit and is considered as one of the best special forces units in the world. Their training, organization, and equipment are quite similar to the US Army's Special Forces and the British Army's SAS. The Pakistan Army Special Services, SSG, also called Maroon Berets, are subjected to a series of heart-wrenching training exercises to toughen their physical and mental prowess. The Pakistan SSG recruits are also going through hand-to-hand combat training and very hard physical fitness training. The overall passing score is about 5% of candidates per course due to the very tough training course. At some stage, they're required to run 36 miles in 12 hours while carrying a full pack of military tools, after which they're required to perform 7 paradrops. The paradrops are executed in stages, 5 during the day and 2 in the night. Number 7. US Navy SEALs. Did you know that more Navy SEALs have died in training than in actual combat since 2013? Well, going by the nature of the notoriously intense training they go through, then this is not strange at all. Cold water conditioning is part of the training, where the soldiers are required to submerge in cold waters with temperatures of between 65 to 68 degrees Fahrenheit. While inside the water, the trainees are expected to swim certain distances, retrieve objects from the bottom of the pool, and do flips underwater. They have to do all this while completely tied up. There is also a phase known as Hell Week. At this point in training, trainees only get about 4 hours of sleep in total during a 5.5-day period. The days are long, 20 hours at a time, and you'll push your body to run more than 200 miles. So you think you can handle being a SEAL? There's only one way to find out, but you'll want to spend a lot of time mentally and physically preparing to do so. Above all, keep a positive mindset. It will get you through the toughest parts of the training. Most SEAL trainers will tell you it's 90% mental. Number 8. UK Special Air Services. The British SAS, Special Air Services, undergo near-death training exercises at the deserted mountains in Wales. The selection process name is Endurance, giving the trainees a heads up of what awaits them. The aspiring SAS are dumped in the middle of nowhere and instructed to cover 40 miles in 20 hours while carrying the 60-pound weight and a rifle. During this time, the trainees are supposed to survive on nothing but a bottle of water. In 2013, 3 trainees died while undergoing the endurance test. The International Business Times has also reported that 125 inductees died between 2000 and 2015. Number 9. South Korea Special Forces. Being the immediate neighbors to Kim Jong-un's protectorate of North Korea, the South Korean government has had to deal with constant military threats from their unpredictable brothers. To ensure that they can successfully safeguard their border, the South Korean Special Forces are put through a series of winter training exercises that an average person wouldn't dare try. One of these gruesome sessions happened on the 11th of January 2012 in the Pyeongchang gun base in Gangwon Province, South Korea. The shirtless trainees are required to perform physical tests in freezing temperatures of -22 degrees Celsius. They run, do hundreds of sit-ups, and even wrestle amongst themselves. The prerequisite to being a trainee requires everyone to have a black belt in Taekwondo. You can bet these guys mean business on the warfront. Number 10. Taiwan Military. The Taiwanese military training is one of the most treacherous exercises in the world. The final stage of the 10-week rigorous training is honestly designed for people who can withstand adversity at its best. Dubbed the Road to Heaven, the recruits must crawl through 164 feet over jagged coral while stopping to perform specific exercises. The Road to Heaven starts with a hard fall from standing to planking position. The fall looks to be tough on the elbows, but immediately after, the recruits begin to crawl through the sharp rocks on the points of their knees and elbows. The painful endurance is made worse by the constant taunting by instructors and fellow graduates. Friends and family are invited to come and offer moral support to the trainees. The crawling takes between 15 to 20 minutes, and the trainees do hope that they are lucky, because if they aren't, the instructors usually order them to start again. Did you enjoy our video? In your opinion, which military training exercise is the meanest, and why? Well, if you enjoyed our video, be sure to subscribe to our channel for more of our amazing content. Please give us a like, share the video, and don't forget to turn on the notification bell for timely updates of our new videos. We value your feedback. Feel free to share your thoughts with us in the comments section below.